But I have a passion for it. I have a willing to serve the community. I want to serve the community. By the way, I've been in the fire department service, volunteer fire department, for 25 years. So I know what service and volunteerism. I love it. So I sort of felt with my experience and some of the solutions that I've been accustomed to in the last about 6-8 years with business, I think I can really bring some positive solutions to Talbot County as a whole. I feel that it's going to take some time. This isn't something that I feel that's going to happen overnight with property values. But we really have to focus on 5 to 10 years from now where we actually want to be. Several things that sort of made me want to help out was trying to find some solutions for regulations. Get a happy medium with the people that are involved with it. Let's sit around the table. Let's talk about the stuff that's in place. Is there any movement? Is there any happy medium? Once we put this in place, what's it going to affect? You know, Mr. Smith down the road that's got this big place on the water, it could devalue his property. So it's things like that I'm out there in the field listening to the people, what their needs are. There's 3 things. Ease regulations, education, and helping the Forest Service and safety in the drug issues that are going on around here. Okay, not that I can solve the world's problems in Talbot County.
Those are the 3 things.
There's the 3 things that are driving me. Okay. Far as the education, I come from the land of vocational education and skill. We had a vocational center here 30 years ago. I graduated in '85. I feel, and I've talked to the Board of Education, I've talked to the lady that is head of the Vocational Educational Center and Department, and they've got a phenomenal good start on the system. They are transferring people, or kids I should say, to St. Michael's, Queen Anne's County, into different places to help some of the, where they have the skill places. So for carpentry and firefighting. I would like to try to come up with a solution that we have a technology center for kids in Talbot County. That these kids come around 8th grade, they end up, before they get into 9th grade, they pick a trade. So within that next 4 years, you treat it somewhat as a college setting. That they're picking and choosing their career. Time they graduate from 12th grade, that they have some type of skill degree. If it's culinary, a nurse, a firefighter, carpenter. One of the huge things that we're losing is the skill set. Not just in Talbot County, in general. It's becoming a technology world, which is fine. But somebody's going to need a carpenter, and somebody's going to need an electrician, and somebody's going to need, various trade people. And it would really delight me in 5 or 6 years that we had a technology center in Talbot County. Maybe a tri-county technology center that we draw kids. It's going to draw a little bit of smart growth that people want to live here. Right, this maintenance of effort, okay, I'm not so sure it's designed for Talbot County. I think it probably has good intentions, But already our budget is 51% of education in Talbot County. It's like 38 million, or something to that effect. Right, right. So we really have to look at the educational part. What I've suggested is going to cost money, obviously, of some sort. But now that we've got a new superintendent, which is absolutely, she is fabulous, it would be great for her to sit down with the council to come up with some solutions that are going to make, we can make smart decisions moving forward. Get her input, get some people's input on where we need to go with this maintenance of effort. I need to know more about it. I need to know not what it's going to do next year, what it's going to do 10 years from now. So if our budget is 38 million and we're doing 2% every year and we've got to match that of some sort, where does it really end? Obviously, what I'm looking at so far, it doesn't end. But I need to know a little bit more about it. Obviously, heroin's a big deal around here. It's huge. I've sat down with Dallas. I have not sat down with Joe. They are both very, very talented, very phenomenal people. I've got some great ideas for them as a future councilman. I feel that possibly, if we already haven't started, is in the schools at an early age. And I think there is some education about it. But I don't know how. Me as the way I think, because I think outside the box in common sense, a lot of people might cringe a little bit about doing. See, right now the kids have to do community service hours. Possibly there is some type of community hours with the police department.
Oh.
To try to educate, and I don't know if the word is scare, but to help these kids understand that this can kill you, and it's addictive. My feeling is the council need to support the sheriff. If they need more money, that's what we're there for. I support anything that they're going to come up with some solutions. If it's a task force of some sort, or some type of education program for kids, that's where I'm going to help them achieve some of their goals. I feel as a council person. I'm not a politician. I'm an entrepreneur that wants to have Talbot County a raving county, in the most raving county and popular county in Maryland. And I think we've lost a little bit of the charm of and it's been tough on the council since 2008. It's been tough. It's no doubt. They've done wonders on getting us budget and working on the budget and making decisions for all of us. But there's more work to be done. Now that we've got things under control and we're coming out, now we need to start doing some smart growth on what makes sense now. Because I feel people really are ready now to, if you will, spend some money a little bit now. They're willing to take a chance and buy now. 3-4 years ago, they're not. Everybody's holding tight. So I think we need to give the community some options. Right. I would like to find some of the fat and trim back. If we trim back, then we can concentrate on it and give some to the drug program, or give something to the education, or you know, the biggest thing is trying to get tax revenue moving in the right direction so we have money in Talbot County. That's what our bread and butter is. So I don't have a solution for that other than they spent many, many, many hours, I'm sure, on this budget trying to give all their needs what they need. But we need to allow people in here, which is going to grow the budget. Well, I've often wondered how it's going to feel being up there. I truly feel, Dave, that I'm going to bring some character and experience that is unique to the council. The first day, probably the first year, is going to be a learning experience for me. And I'm going to listen. I'm a great listener. I absorb the information. I assess it in my brain. And then when it comes out, hopefully I can bring it to a perspective that, hey, maybe this guy's got a point. You know? And I just feel that I would be a great, different, new type of council person. You know, and it's going to take me a while to learn the language, because I've been out there with all the roughnecks, you know. You know, so it's a little tough. But I've got great intentions, and I can tell you this, and I'm not just saying this, I make smart decisions.